I know of a kid who heard the word pornography used in a khutbah at a Jummah prayer, and nobody would tell him what it was, so he went and looked it up himself. I know a kid who went to a non-Muslim summer camp, and a boy came up to him and said, "Do you know what porn is?" And he went, "Parm." He didn't even say the word correctly. He went, "Parm," and he typed up P-A-R-M, and he found pornography, even with the wrong spelling. After every talk, I learned something new. I just had a mom recently tell me that she was on Amazon looking for boys' briefs for her son. And she typed up boys' briefs, and kinky images came up of all sorts of other haram things. And she said pictures were really obscene, and the private parts were just kind of blurred, but you could still see what it was. And that was on Amazon. And Sheikh Rami Ansur, who is my son's Quran teacher up north, he warned the kids that there have been incidents where there are videos that say Surah Mulk on YouTube, and kids will click on it, or people will click on it to listen to Surah Mulk or watch Surah Mulk, and it'll actually be pornography. Once it's discovered and it's reported, YouTube takes it down. But if you happen to be, or your child, God forbid, happens to be the first one to click on it, then, it's a problem. The first thing you do if pornography is ever to pop up in front of you, and we told them that something may pop up that looks weird to you. Just something that you're like, wait, I wasn't looking for that. That wasn't the website I was going for. That's not the image I was searching. You'll just know, you'll have this voice in your head, and that voice is coming to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's coming from the angels warning you that that feels weird. The first thing you do is you lower your gaze. You close the laptop, or you turn off the computer, or you unplug, whatever. You get it out of your vision. And it's interesting because at Elm Tree, my homeschooling co-op, one of the moms there is a marriage and family therapist. And she told us that, they worked with sex offenders at one time in her training who were in prison. And she said they were taught as therapists to teach these sex offenders that if anything was ever to pop up or come in their sight, the first thing they have to do is look away. The first thing they have to do is to get it out of their sight of vision. Which is really, it shows you the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us to say? He tells us to lower the gaze, right? So lowering the gaze, there's real benefit in that. It's not just like, oh, we're so, nervous, we can't look at anything. There's actually a protection of the heart and the soul of getting something out of your vision that is haram. And we told our kids that the first glance that is by mistake is a freebie. But after that, if you look again, that's when the angels start recording. So you have to be really mindful of not going back to something that felt weird or uncomfortable. So the first thing is look away. The second thing we teach our kids is to immediately say, A'udhu billah minash shaitanir rajim. And we tell them that these are words of power. These are not magic words. It's not mumbo jumbo. You have to know that when pornography or something like that pops up in front of you, you are in a shaitani environment. You're in the presence of shaitan, and you need protection. And the only one who can protect you is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ourselves have no power. So you immediately call on Allah's help for his help. So A'udhu billah minash shaitanir rajim. And it was very, very validating to me because I gave this talk at a Zaytuna College event up north. And there were, after I was done giving my talk, Sheikh Hamza Yusuf gave his talk, his presentation, which was on the danger of the current media that's out there in the world. And he was not there when I gave my presentation. He arrived later for his talk. So he didn't hear anything I said. But when he got up on stage and he had a whole PowerPoint presentation and he went through all the different things that are out there in the world and how we need to deal, all of a sudden in his PowerPoint, he came to a black screen, and in the middle of the black screen in white letters, it said, A'udhu billah minash shaitanir rajim. And he talked about the exact same thing. He said, you need to rely on this and you need to use these words often. And so that was very validating to hear from the friend who's a therapist that even in the non-Muslim studies, this is what they're teaching, is to lower the gaze and look away, and then to learn from the shuyukh that we have to rely on A'udhu billah minash shaitanir rajim. The third thing we told our kids after lowering the gaze and saying A'udhu billah minash shaitanir rajim is you need to immediately go and tell an adult. No matter what time of day it is, you need to go get help. You need to go let an adult know what's going on. Because many times what will happen is children will assume that the parents have no idea about pornography. And they'll think this is something I just discovered and I actually need to protect my parents. And so you need to let them know that I know what's going on and you need to come tell me. And so they need to, and they need to know that you're not going to freak out, that you're not going to blame them, that you're actually on their side and you're going to help them. And so sure enough, one day, Amin was doing his work at my brother's home, and something popped up on his screen. And it was something he had not been looking for. He didn't know what it was. He immediately realized that this is the thing that we've been warned about. He turned off the computer, said, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem," and then went and told my brother. My brother came and looked at the computer, realized that there was a virus on it, and told him, "Okay, don't touch it. We'll get somebody to clean it up." And then, took the computer away for a couple of days and then gave it back to him once it was clear. If we hadn't had that drill in place, I shudder to think about what might have happened. Like that curiosity, that, oh, what is that? That's, and then clicking on it, and then the thing becoming bigger, taking over his screen. And so many times that's how it happens. Kids stumble across pornography, they don't know what it is, they click on it, and then the way it works is first it's curiosity, then it becomes a pattern where a kid keeps returning to it to just kind of check it out. Then it becomes a habit where they have to do it on a regular basis, and then it becomes a compulsion where they can't leave it even if they want to. And I know the story of this 10-year-old boy who was on the Hifz track. He was memorizing Quran, and his mother was thrilled. That's all she ever wanted, was for one of her children to memorize Quran. And her son started memorizing surah after surah after surah, and he was totally like, yes, I want to be a hafiz. The Hifz school, the program that he was a part of, all of the Hifz students were given iPods to help them memorize Quran. So he used the iPod all the time while walking outside, while in the car, while in his bedroom, or around the house, memorizing his surahs, and the mom was thrilled. All of a sudden, this son just lost, it seemed like it was all of a sudden, but it was gradual. The son lost interest in memorizing Quran. And he just told his mom, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to memorize Quran. And the mom was heartbroken. She was like, what happened? She felt like maybe he got nazared or ained, the evil eye. And so, but she told him, okay, just keep working at it. But he was like, no, I'm not interested in memorizing Quran. One day she walked into his bedroom and she saw that he was on his iPod and his back was to her. And she saw that on his iPod, he was watching pornography. So when she and her husband investigated, they found out that this boy had been watching pornography every single day for 2 years. Every single day, from the ages of 10 to 12, this boy had been watching pornography. He is hopelessly addicted. It is one of the most tragic stories because I've been involved with the family, trying to help and just be there. And this boy is much older now, and he's still addicted. The parents were really smart. They immediately got him into therapy. They got him into and there's actually therapy, a program now for Muslims called Purify Your Gaze. So if there's anyone struggling with it, Purify Your Gaze is a program. And when she first approached them when he was 12 years old, they said, no, we only work with adults. And inshallah, your son will be fine, whatever. And so years went by, he's not fine. And all sorts of problems come about from it. This boy has been suicidal, because there's so many times he's tried to quit pornography and he has not been able to, and he keeps going back to it. And so he despairs and he starts to feel like Allah can never forgive him. So they have him in therapy, but not only do they have him in therapy for his pornography addiction, but they also have him in spiritual therapy. They have him in therapy with a sheikh who's there to help him and remind him of Allah's mercy, remind him why he can't despair, remind him that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using this addiction just to break you. Allah is showing you that He's the master and you're the slave, and you have to just turn to Allah completely. Just helping him that way.